OK, let's get to the Stadium of Light, where there was late drama in the Saturday night football. Sunderland scoring in the 4th minute of time added on against the Premier League leaders Arsenal to snatch a point. We're going to start with Dan Ballard and Mikel Merino's coming together. This was in the opening minutes. Jay, anything more sinister in this for you here?
I think this is another situation as when you slow it down, it looks like he's kind of maybe thrown his arm back. But I would tend to disagree. I think what he's trying to do is, you know, get the ball away as far as possible. So he has to kind of use his arms to kind of put more power in his header to get it away. I don't think Dan Ballard intentionally tried to hit him. I just think it's unfortunate circumstances.
You can see there Arteta, can't you, signalling, look.
But you know what? Sorry, Ayla, I can understand why Arteta would think that.
OK.
Especially when you look at it in a slow motion, which he probably would have seen there with his screen on the bench.
Yeah.
But I think in real time, I don't think Ballard would have had the time to look for him. He hasn't looked around at him and you know, thrown his arm back. I think he's just kind of gone like that to head the ball and just get more leverage on the header away. Yeah,
so look, Arteta suggesting it might have been deliberate, as we saw there. Does VAR have a case to answer for?
Well, VAR looked at it, there's no doubt about that. I listened to them, but I don't think it's foul. I think he's gone in hard. He's used his arms for leverage. You know, you said earlier it's coming together. If you look at anything, Merino comes into him. You know, Ballard's always there. He doesn't move towards Merino. He heads the ball quite clearly. There's a clash, and this is what we're on about. There's clashes all the time in football. I just think it's a clash. It's coming together, but it's really strong defending.
And from a player's point of view, from my point of view, sometimes you do get hit hard in the head. And as that player, you're going to go down holding your head because it's a sore one. But ultimately, you know if someone's looking at you. You know if someone's looking to come and hit you with the elbows. And, you know, generally, you'll see all the players run to that player and start getting around him. It didn't happen there. So that's why I feel like it was a hard, fair challenge.
I think there's two things in Ballard's favour as well. Is A, he's always looking at the ball. He never looks at Merino. It's actually Merino who comes into him. And secondly, he gets the ball. He always gets the ball, you know, from where his position is. His start position is there and he doesn't move it.
OK, look, fine margins in football, as we know. Martin Zubimendi and his tackle in the first half we're going to have a look at now. This led to the free kick, actually, that Sunderland scored from. Was it a foul, Jay?
I mean, by the letter of the law, right, if he touches the ball ever so slightly, he's won the ball, right? That's what you say to me over the last few weeks. So he's touched the ball ever so slightly. It shouldn't be given as a free kick. I mean, we see the one against Saka, against Fulham, where, you know, he's got the ball, but he's gone through the player. That's the same kind of thing there. And ultimately, Zubimendi's got the ball, so it shouldn't be given a free kick by the letter of the law.
Dermot?
I didn't know that was in law, actually, but...
That's what you told me.
No, I didn't. I said they'd made a decision that if a player in a penalty area touches the ball, by the look of it, and I'm not going through the four again, by the look of it, they went bang, 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 they didn't give a penalty.
So, but does that apply on anywhere else on the pitch?
I can only tell you what I see. On that, I think he's unlucky to give a free kick away. He's even more unlucky to get a yellow card, I think. You know, I think he does win the ball. I think it's possibly a misread by the referee. But I don't think because you touch the ball at times, that exonerates you. I mean, if we look back to Luke Shaw in the Netherlands, the PSV game, the player clearly got the ball. You know, he broke Luke Shaw's leg. I think it's an absolute awful tackle. So it's no good turning around saying he got the ball. So
no, you're right about that. I mean, there's going to be some instances that, again, my points are very consistent. I'm saying not every time you get the ball is okay. But from what I've heard over the last few weeks, you know, we spoke about Saka's, Gyökeres, the one for Sanchez, you know, even that one. This one here, he's touched the ball. So unless the referees association is telling me it's different rules in the box to anywhere else on the pitch, that shouldn't be given as that should be given as a challenge that is okay because he's touched the ball.
Without going too heavy into it, Jay, because, you know, we're not ahead. Sometimes referees misjudge, and as I said, I just think that's a misjudgment. Even though he gets the ball, I still don't think it's a foul. I don't think that's a foul. So I'm with you. You don't have to.
I'm just saying. Again, this is not an attack on Derms, by the way, because we agree on this challenge.
Hurry up.
But I'm just saying that if he gets the ball, it's not a foul. We've seen other things in the box.
No, I think we need to be clear what I'm saying here.
Okay.
I am not saying that for 1 second, because I've just quoted what I saw, a terrible tackle and the player won the ball. I think you can win the ball and you can still be guilty of a foul, a yellow card, or I think the PSV player should have been sent off.
When is that guilt, though? But when is that guilt? Because is it because... OK, so the one... Again, we're going back now, and I know you don't like doing that, Dennis, but we're going back. So the Gyökeres one. The keeper's obviously touched the ball. So when does it become enough? Because Gyökeres can still get back to that ball if he's not impacted by Pope. So when does it... by what you're saying there, when does it become enough?
When the referee decides.
Oh, goodness me. Right, we're going to finish off on here with you, Dermot. A late VAR check for Brian Broberry's late equaliser. No issue with a potential high foot in the build-up.
A really, really good goal for me, Hayley. And ironically, we saw similar for Coventry's winner at Stoke on Saturday. You know, a player that, you know, very athletic, scores. I just think only has eyes on the ball. You know, the player's ducked in, but for me, a good goal.
For anyone that says I'm not objective about Arsenal, listen to my words carefully. That's a perfectly good goal. Broberry there has strengthened Gabriel. Gabriel's thrown his body at the ball to try and get a block on. Raya's come out. Like Derm said, it's great athleticism and it's a great goal.
Right.
Jonathan, Rory Smith of The Observer was at the game. He said the path seems set. Arsenal will go into the international break with a lead of up to 8 points. It could have been 9 points, of course. Their challengers starting to recede in the distance. They would leave the rest of the league to punch each other out. For the rest of the league, it is just a glimmer, but that will do for now. However, it could be 4 points going into the international break, depending on what happens at the Etihad later on today. But if you'd offered Mikel Arteta this position after 11 games, he'd have snapped your hands off, wouldn't he?
Well, absolutely. I think we're slightly conditioned in a way by what's happened over the last 5-10 years with champions getting 95, 98, 100 points. And I think we're slightly conditioned to believe that even at this stage in a title challenge, dropping 2 points away from home is kind of a disaster. And I think that era has kind of gone a little bit. I think 90 points will win the title this season. I think Arsenal is still head and shoulders above the rest. And if you look at how Sunderland have started the season, a draw at the Stadium of Light, I think is at the end of the season is going to be seen as a really good result. And I think, like, inherent in a lot of this stuff about, you know, have they offered a template? I think what Sunderland have shown this season, it's not easy just to do what Sunderland do. The way that they've made it difficult for teams, the way they've managed to rotate the side, to rotate players, and still, you know, keep that ethos, keep that game plan, and not have that drop off in level. I think that shows that what Sunderland are doing is not necessarily replicable by other teams.